Hey everyone! This isn't a cooking video. I can explain, but let me start by introducing myself. I'm Paige. I was born and raised in the US and now live in Switzerland. I was diagnosed with IBS earlier this year and started seeing a nutritionist. Now I'm following a low FODMAP and elimination diet to see which foods trigger me. But that's not the point of this video either. This is a home decorating vlog where I show you my thought process, struggles, joys, and interior aesthetic. Because I think I have some pretty cute stuff to share. But I'm also tired all the time, and I thought maybe some of you can relate. In this video, I'm cooking right now, but that hasn't been my reality. I don't enjoy cooking, and I'll tell you why. Number 1, doing the dishes. This apartment doesn't have a dishwasher, which I thought would be fine since I grew up without one. But after a long day at work, the last thing I wanted to do was wash dishes, so the pile grew and grew until it became too overwhelming. Number 2, this is my fridge. There's not a lot of space, and I'm sure if I Tetris it up, I can fit tons of things into it. But now that I need to meal prep, freezer space is kind of necessary, and I don't have much of it. You'd think that with such a tiny fridge, I'll only fill it up with essentials. But no, it's mostly been filled with expired food. So I was ordering in several times a week, and if you live in Switzerland, you'll know that that's expensive AF. I've always struggled with taking care of myself, and having depression doesn't make it easier. Well, that all changed when I recently lost my job. I've been recovering from burnout and it's been pretty shitty. But on the plus side, I've been given the privilege of time to finally learn how to take care of myself. So if this video resonates with you or you're just curious about my journey, let's upgrade my kitchen. Step 1. Assessing the situation. When we moved into the apartment, our landlord told us that some tenants add a dishwasher to the left of the sink. That was a plan all along, but something didn't feel right. So I did what I did best. Think. A lot. What if it's the mini fridge that's been holding me back? It seems suitable for my non-cooking lifestyle, but that's not what I want for my future. Would I really make use of a bigger fridge if I survived with this tiny one for the past 3 years? What if I end up just filling it with more expired food? That became the big question. What did I want my future to look like? Let me start by saying that I don't think we should shame people for not cooking. There's a bunch of reasons why someone can't cook as often as others. Being disabled, lacking time and energy, sheer convenience. But now that I'm unemployed, I don't want to live like I'm getting a full paycheck every month. I do want to cut back on ordering in, and the more the low FODMAP diet seemed to be working, the more I realized that I do want to cook more at home. Cooking was always a tedious chore that I'd rather skip. I started to ask myself, why? What could I do to make it a better experience? One of my friends has been telling me about the wonders of having a dishwasher, especially for people who struggle with executive functioning. It's 2024. Why am I living like it's the 1940s? It came down to one thing: time. I once watched a video where a guy made 30 burritos and froze them so he could eat a different burrito every day. Having a bigger freezer would save me time. Having a dishwasher would save me time. And having a microwave would save me both time and dishes. Right now, in order to heat up a dish, I have to break out the pots and pans, cook it on the stove, and then without thinking, I put my food in a new bowl. That's like 4 extra dishes. So I came up with a new plan. A larger fridge in the corner, remove the mini fridge and replace it with a dishwasher, and add a microwave here. I obviously wanted a yellow Smeg fridge, but after taking some quick measurements, I was left with just one option. Meet the Bowman KG 320.2. It's not the most aesthetically pleasing fridge, but it fits. Plus, look at the size of the freezer. It has not just 1 but 3 compartments. And it costs 900 francs less than a Smeg. There were 3 other colors, but I opted for stainless steel because I thought it would match the kitchen. And if I end up hating the look, I could always cover it up with some contact paper. That's trending now. Step 2. Setting up the fridge. Guess what arrived today? The fridge. It is pretty heavy and huge. I mean, I can only get through this tiny sliver to get into the kitchen. I'm feeling pretty bad today, but I don't like that it's blocking the entire doorway, so I'm gonna need to clean out this area. This is where it's gonna go. It's starting to look like it's not gonna fit at all, but I will trust the measurements that I made, and I'm assuming the box is just way bigger. So let's clean up this area. First thing, I have to obviously get rid of all this trash, sweep it up, move this vacuum cleaner somewhere else, probably here, but I don't want to drill anything yet until like everything's finalized. Yeah, and I'm gonna mop the floor because I never mop this area, and before we put the fridge there and never sees the light of day again, I think I should clean it up a bit. Let's go. I definitely need to clean up this area because we're gonna have to put the trash can here temporarily, and that area is also covered with stuff. So before I even want to move the fridge in and everything, I want to make sure that everything's in its right place so we don't have to deal with it later. I was going to wait until tomorrow to do this, but my roommate wanted to move the fridge now, so we're doing it. It looks a lot bigger, but it's not. I'm taller than it. All right, so let's see you move it. Yeah. Always be filming B-rolls. Maybe I should not stand here. So now we need to see if it'll fit and see how much of this table we need to move. The big reveal. Oh, there's still like loose tape. Should we see? next day. I decorated the fridge the night before because seeing the color in real life bothered me. The doors are stainless steel, but the sides are dark gray, which I didn't notice in the picture. This worried me because I was already thinking about the possibility of adding contact paper to it, which is a lot of work. However, once I added some color to the area, I felt a lot better. This was a good reminder to myself to pay closer attention to the details in product photos to avoid a potential mishap in the future. Alright, back to the fridge tour. Look at all the space! I will make it a habit to keep track of expiration dates and throw out spoiled food right away. That being said, the freezer is mostly filled with questionable things, but I'll deal with that later. I mean, there's so much room. It'll be fine. Step 3. Cleaning up the cables. Now that the fridge was in place, I wanted to tackle something that had been bothering me for a long time: cable management. The power strip is hidden behind all these baskets, but knowing that they were a tangled mess was irritating, so I had to fix it.
Cleaning this area, since it hasn't been touched in a while.
I'm using mounting tape to stick the power strip to the wall. That way, it'll be easier to rearrange cables when necessary. It also looks neater.
Struggling.
The result. It's not straight, but it'll do. I rearranged the plugs by the location of each appliance. However, while putting everything away, I realized that all the outlets were already used up, so there wouldn't be space for the microwave. That would be a problem. So I went to my local hardware store and found this wall plug called Clip Clap. You can bend the plug in any direction so it can sit flush against the wall. I was using a single wall plug before and was happy to find that it even came in double and triple. It's easier to hide the outlet and everything looks neater. New fridge, new me. It's been about 2 weeks since I've had my new fridge, and it's definitely improved my day-to-day living. Lately, when I haven't planned out my meals but still need to eat, I'll remember that I have stuff in my freezer and can whip up something quickly. It's like having a mini market in my own home. Being forced to meal prep and cook for myself every day has also improved my relationship with cooking. Yes, it's still a chore, but it's a lot less painful than I'd imagined. I still have dishes to wash, but since I've given this my full dedication, it no longer takes up mental space, which helps a lot. I've made 2 rules: that I have to wash up before the next meal prep, and that I need to make sure the sink is clean before I go to bed. That being said, I have the time right now to do this, and I'm looking forward to buying a microwave and dishwasher to help me for the days when I don't have the time or energy. Living in Switzerland, it seems like everyone cooks, which pressured me to add that to my lifestyle. Are you like me where you want to cook more? Drop me a comment and let me know your experience. If you don't want to cook or have no interest, that's okay too. Do whatever is best for you in your life right now. You're already doing your best. Sometimes added pressure can help push us to grow, but it's also okay to know when to rest and take a step back. Anyway, enough yapping from me. Let's admire the kitchen. Here's a before and after. I hope you enjoyed my video and would love to hear from your experiences, whether it's about cooking, decorating your home, or if you're like me and have difficulty managing everyday tasks. Please like and subscribe to see the next part of the kitchen series, which is getting my microwave. Yay! I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching and keep on keeping on.